Okay, this video is for exercise 2. Uh, there are several ways to do this, okay, but we'll start with the method direct distance entry plus the relative polar coordinate. Okay, so check your sample drawings as noted here. Use polar coordinate entry, and you have to start at an absolute coordinate 50, comma 30, meaning the first point of your first line in relation to the x and y axis is 50 for y and 30 for x. And also check the segment lengths. So for line AB 94 and so on up to IJ. And also the slot here in the inside the object has a radius of 7.5. Okay. So there are several methods also of entering the angle, okay, or using the angle. So the given here is the ones here inside. Okay. But the method we will use is uh, relative. So we start from the direction from the zero angle, so counterclockwise. So from right to left ang counting of the angle, okay. Then of course if you're will be familiar already or you are familiar with the angles, say if you want to do it clockwise, say from 0, so it's either 345 or negative 15, this one, and so on, kung clockwise. But we will use the counterclockwise. Okay. So that you will not be you will not a hard time, not hard time to determine the angles, okay, which our reference is from the east, our 0, so going left, okay. So I already indicated here the angles that you need to determine. So the ones in the red is the angles that you need to use in inputting after your the distance. Okay, so 45, 15, 75, 150, 225, 255, 165, 285. So take note, this is 285, but if you zoom out, it looks like 9. So this is 285. And for the last one, 2, the J to A, so last one, is no need to indicate the angle here because the last point of segment IJ, you just have to connect the point J to point A. Okay, so as I said, there are several methods. So we'll use this direct distance entry, meaning no need to use anymore the grid display plus snap to grid. Okay, so you can turn off these two, the display, grid display and the grid snap. Okay, but if you want to turn on the grid only, so it's up to you, it's your preference, but I prefer without grid. Okay, so let's begin. By the way, I hope you know how to calculate or find these angles. So you have this in your lessons in your geometry. Okay, how to find these angles. So I hope uh, you know. But as I said, I already put here the angles. Okay, so that we can draw immediately. But I hope you again a your lessons in mathematics in geometry you can recall on how to, for example, find these angles using the our base as the east or the first quadrant. Okay, so where our zero begins. So let's start. Okay. So it says here, start with vertex A at absolute coordinate 50, 30. So in some versions, especially the earlier ones, uh, you have to uh, type the symbol at, okay, the ones above the key for number 2. So the shift symbol at and type these x and y coordinates. Okay, meaning you want to accurately put in your drawing space in this location your first point or the vertex A. Okay, so let's start. So our 0, 0 is here. Okay, so when you have to draw the line, but you don't click first because we need to locate the starting point, which is 50, 30. So in later versions, even without typing the symbol at, you can get the exact location by just typing the coordinates. But sometimes uh, it doesn't uh, start from there. So if that's the case, you need to type the at. Okay. So actually, there is an option there. For example, if you want to set that relative or absolute, you need to type a command in regards to the configuration. But that will be uh, in future videos. Okay. So let's start. So again, those older versions, you may you if it will not be accurately placed in 50, 30, comma 30. So type the at 50, comma 30. So say I'll just type here for me 50. So don't click first, but you already made the command line. Okay. Comma 50, comma 30. Then enter. So meaning this you already located your first point, the vertex A here. Okay, so check relative to the origin 0, 0. So this is 50 and this is 30. But you have to draw the line at the segment AB now. So for accuracy, a turn on the, because this is a straight horizontal 0 degrees. So click this auto mode, or you can press F8. Okay, then drag. If you will see the dynamic input, when you drag your cursor, which is now in crosshair form, so it will give you a preview of how long you have you already drag your cursor, so that you can estimate where to stop and type, for example. But even if you drag it up to here, no problem, as long as you type the correct distance. So type 94, enter. Okay. Then so next point or segment is BC. Uh, the angle determined here is 45 degrees. So this one in the red note is the one we will use. Okay, not the 135. We will use this 135 later in another method. Okay, so BC. So check here how long is BC, 40, and the angle 45. So type. So this is now what we call the direct distance entry plus the relative polar coordinate. Okay, so type 40 for the distance or the length, then angle. Okay, so shift less than, or you can press tab. Okay, then type the angle, which is 45, enter. Okay, by the way, uh, if for example on the other side, the direction of the line you draw is go in the third quadrant, so you type at, for example, that's because that's for absolute, and then type the distance and the angle, and you'll get the same uh, result. But let's say you don't want to type the at symbol, so actually you need to set your uh, DYNP coordinates. Okay. So for me, I already set this to 0 because there are only two values, either 0 or 1. Because if you type 1 here, uh, that's for the absolute coordinates. So when you draw, for example, when you type the distance 40, then angle 45, it will be drawn in this direction. So that's it. So I will repeat. So the settings is here. DYNP coordinates, PI coordinates. I'll bring this back to 0. So 0. Type 0 and enter. I think it's different. This one. DYNP coordinates. Then one. I think 1. Yes, 1. Enter. Okay. So that you will get the when you draw lines, it's always starting from the 0 counterclockwise. Okay. Then so next segment CD. So I already determined the angle here, or identified the angle here. It is 15 degrees. Okay. So I'll draw line. Okay. Then, what's the length? CD is 35, angle 15. So, type 35, then angle 15. Enter. So, I think I made a mistake there. Should be the DYNP coordinate should be 0. Let me check. Okay. So, I'll repeat. Line 35, angle 15. Enter. Okay, so yeah. Set your dy and pi coordinates to 0. The next segment DE. The third angle here is 75. Okay. So the length 35. I don't know. 15. Yes, 75. But the length is DE is 57. Okay. So I'll type 57 angle 75. Enter. Okay. Then continue if you get already the idea how to draw these lines using the previous demonstration here. Okay. So just the distance and then the angle, because I already indicated here what angle to use, the ones in red. So the EF is 82 angle 150. So I'll turn off your auto mode so that you can move your cursor in 360 degrees. Okay. So because in your sample drawing the direction is here. So type 82, then angle 150. Enter. Okay. So it's there. The next one is segment FG with the length of 61 and with the angle of 225. Okay. 225 and 61. Okay. So I'll type 61 angle 225. Enter. Okay. The next segment GH, which has a distance of 38 and angle to be used is 255. Okay. So I'll draw 38, then angle 255. Enter. Okay. And next, so the HI. Length is 85 and angle to be used is 165. Okay. So 85 angle 255. Enter. Oops, there's a mistake here. So we'll undo. That's not 255, it's 165. Okay. So repeat. 85 angle 165. Enter. Okay. The last one, I to J is 53 ang distance, and the angle is 285. Take note, this is 285. It looks like 9, but this is 285. The 8 looks like 9. Okay, so 53 angle, so type 53 angle 285. Enter. Okay, then as you can see here, there is no indicated angle here and the distance, because this is already the last vertex that you need to connect to A to close this shape of this object. Okay, so all you need to do is just click. Okay, if you see when you drag out your away your cursor from the point where you click, uh, the command is still active. So you can either press escape or press enter to finish or complete the command. Okay. So to check if you have accurately entered all the correct values, I will, for example, my angle here should be 131, so cell should be same with you. Okay. So that's the edges of this object. So we still need to put this slot here. So there are several ways, especially for advanced users. Uh, we can draw this slot away from the inside of this shape and move here inside later when we completed this drawing this slot. Okay, so many methods actually, but for you as beginners, so we'll do the uh, using lines as guidelines in locating, for example, these uh, centers of these two radius. Okay, and also the uh, yes, horizontal and vertical guides. So let's start, for example. So since this is straight line, so you need to turn on the ortho mode. Okay, then draw a line from here. So just estimate. Okay, you need to put a exact value, for example. Okay, estimate. Then we will use here several commands. This we can copy this or duplicate or move this to the going right 2 times, or we can use offset also, or we can move first and then copy. So let's say we utilize the offset. So offset is like this. Say you have a line and you want to duplicate this line with a specific uh, distance, say 5. So I'll click this toolbar for offset, or you can type O, enter. Okay, so say I'll click this offset, then you will be asked. So there are several options, but never mind this for now. We'll just enter the distance, for example, that you need to duplicate this line, whether left or right. Let's say both sides. So let's say 5, so type 5, enter. So when you enter, press enter, your crosshair now becomes a pick box. Okay, so click this line. For example, if you move your crosshair to the left, so it gives you a preview of the result of your offset command. And same with here sa right. Okay, so let's say both right. So click, and when you click, it is still you have already created an offset of this original line, but your cursor is still in the tick box form. So meaning when you have this pick box form, you are asked to pick again or select. So, say, click this and click here. But let's say you want several of these, so click, click, equal, okay, equal. But if you want to change, for example, the spacing or the distance, so you need to repeat the command. So just press enter if you are still in a pick box mode, okay. So press enter. So you have finished the command. To repeat the command, so uh, press enter again, okay, without typing the command offset. Then it will ask you the distance. So previously we used 5. Let's say we change that to 10, for example. So you type 10, enter, then click, for example, 10. Okay. So I hope this basic demonstration of the offset, because I will still make a separate video about offset command with more examples. Okay. So I hope you know already you will learn how to use offset, basic offset command. Create a simple drawing using the offset command. Okay, uh, so that you will have, let's say, 3 or, okay, move, let's say move. We'll use the command move, but we haven't used the offset, so we'll offset this, for example, nala. So offset. So check the measurement here. So 21 and 48. So enter the distance. So 21, enter. Okay. So check where you are, which side are you going to click based on these drawings. Okay. So then to repeat the command, press enter and another enter, then enter the distance. Center to center is 34. Is it? 48, not 34. Okay. 48. 48, enter. Okay. Then offset this to the right. Click. And if you are finished, actually not yet, because we still have to offset this line, or let's say another command naman para magamit nyo. Okay. We can use this line and put here as our center line, so that we will locate the center of these two arcs. So okay, we'll use copy command, so that you will have additional commands to learn. Okay. So I'll finish the command, so I press enter, then for copy, so it's like this. I have a circle, you want to copy it multiple times, so you also need to input the distance, but let's say random distances. So I just click this copy command, or type CO for copy, click the object, enter, and your base point, it's in here can be a base point, but there will be cases that you need to exactly click in a specified or the correct base point. So let's say here in the center. Okay, click. Then as I said, if random, just click multiple times, depending on how many you want to duplicate. Okay, but let's say you need to have a specific distance. So again, copy or CO or CP for copy. Click, enter, then the distance between, for example, centers of the circle. So you should click this base point. Click, and let's say assign a distance, say 34. Enter. Okay. But let's say you want to continue copying, and if you press again 34, it will always click here because that is 34. But let's say you have a regular spacing of 34. So 34 times 2 is 68. 68 plus 34 is how much? 102? Is it? 102? Yes. And so on. Depending on how many uh, uh, copies you need to do. Okay? Although, actually, you can still also repeat copying, but this is a much slower method. Copy and then 34, and then repeat again the command, copy 34. So, much slower. So, unlike if you continue multiple copies, for example, so you type 34, then 68, then 102, then 136. Okay. Okay. So simple uh, demonstration of the command copy. So I'll make again a separate video for that. Okay. So we will copy this line. Okay. So copy. So CO or CP, enter, or use this toolbar. Copy. Click. Enter. So any of the space here, any of the location here in the drawing space can be a base point. But let's say I can choose the midpoint here of this line, okay, or even from here as long as it will not snap from an object or to an object, okay. So it's okay. Let's say I click here for the base point and bring up and type the distance, which is 34. So even if I will bring it here, no problem. As long as you type 34, then press enter. So it exactly locates here. Okay. Then check the drawing. You have a radius of 7.5. So meaning you have to draw this line and this line from this line. So either you use command offset, copy, or even move and offset or move and copy. Okay. Say we'll use the command offset. Okay. So click offset, then type the distance, which is 7.5. Enter, then click this line, both sides up. So this one is the object offset. Click that and click to the bottom. Okay. Now you have the center line here, but the exact center is of course here and here. So this one, no need of this, so you can erase this now. Okay. Then there are also several options in drawing this slot. Okay. But I'll use circle so that we can use the command trim also. Okay. So let's use circle. Even without choosing any option here, as long as you say you click center and you click the center, you know the center here, click. So we have a reference also here that this point here is the radius of the from the center of this circle. So no need actually to type the 7.5 because we have already this reference. But if you type 7.5, it will exactly also draw the same radius. So let's say I will just click because I made a guide. Then You can copy here, or you can create again a circle. Okay, like this. So let's say you so that you will get familiar with copy command. So let's say we use copy. Click, select the circle, enter, then use the center as your base point, and just click here. Although we know that this is 48, but because we already located the center, so we can just click here in the center. Okay. Then no need of these lines now and this line. Okay, so delete or erase that. Then we use the command trim, this one. Okay, so in lower versions, uh, for example, I'll click this. One option is uh, we need two windows. So for example, I trim. So select the crossing so that you can select this all. Okay, enter. Okay. Trim. Uh, Crossing. Enter. But it's not in this version 2022. There's no result because in version 2022, for example, by just one click of this trim command, the toolbar, I can immediately trim like this. Or if much faster, so trim, so crossing, crossing, and crossing. Okay, but in some earlier version, say 2017 and below, so you might another option is you click trim. So for me, even just by clicking once here without typing the enter, I can immediately trim. But in let's say 2014, maybe you need to press one enter to trim these lines that are to be removed. Okay. Another is trim. You can select the cutting edges. Okay. Select. So your cutting edges will be actually both of these horizontal lines and the uh, circle. So you can select this all. Okay. Click, then press enter. Now you can trim also. So do the crossing so that you can trim multiple excess lines, for example. Click and enter. I hope you get the two options, the cutting edges and other one. Click the toolbar and press enter, then you can trim after that. Okay, so that's the uh, method. Okay. So to complete your drawings, let's say you want to put, for example, the labels of these vertices and also the uh, angular dimensions and these linear dimensions, the 34 and the 2148. So uh, we'll do the angular dimensions first. Okay, so we will have a separate topic for that, how to create, for example, dimension styles and text styles. But for now, in the default in your AutoCAD default, you have the, for example, so click the annotate, okay. And for your text, the there are two for me, for example. One is annotative and one is standard, okay. So either of these two you can choose, okay. So let's say I will choose annotative, for example. This is for the text, huh? And then also here in the dimensions, there are uh, three uh, dimension styles in the default: annotative, ISO 25, and the standard. So let's say I'll use annotative. Click. Also the text is annotative. Okay. So if you try, for example, to dimension the angles, so find it here. So you are in the annotate tab, but you can also see that in the home tab, and you can find it here. Okay. So because this annotator, for example, has many more options in annotating compared there in the home tab, which are just basic options in dimensioning. Okay, so it's up to you. You use this annotate tab or home because this basic drawing symbol. So maybe it's enough here. So click the angular, okay, but it says here because I choose annotative, so there is a message: you are creating an annotative object. Set the annotation scale to the scale at which the annotation is intended to display. So uh, for now, let's choose 1:1. Okay. But I will have a video later also of how to use this annotative text and dimensions. Okay, so click OK. Then what are the angles? 135. So I'll put here 135. So it became, you can see already the size of these angular dimensions. Yeah. Say for example, maybe in your case, it's very small. You can modify that and go to, by going to annotate and click this fly out here, this arrow. Click and modify, for example. So the under the button text tab, so it's 2.5, okay, for me. But if it's not 2.5, you have to change that to 2.5, for example. Okay, so here you have to change here the value. Maybe for you it's 0.18. Okay, so you can adjust the size of the text or the height of the text here. Let's say if you change that to 2.5 and it's still very small, so make it bigger, for example. Okay, so maybe 3.5 or 5. Okay, then also change the size of the arrows here. So maybe in your computer it is 0.09 or 0.18. So try if you change to 2.5 and check after if the size is okay. But of course, if we have to apply the standards, there are standard heights, for example, for the text, for the regular notes and the drawing titles. Okay, if you remember in your drawing one, say for dimensions, regular notes, and the drawing titles. So they have their own standard height. But it will depend also on what scale and paper you are going to use for your drawing. So say 2.5, both the arrow and the text. Then click OK. You can set current or just uh, select close. But if you want to make it sure, so set current and close. Now you can put your dimensions. Here in under annotate tab, so it's here. So look for here. So click this triangular button and find the angular. And put the dimensions. So refer to the drawing where are they put. I think here 120. So here. So my preferred action, for example, in repeating the command is by right clicking. So for example, I right click, repeat the angular, click, or you can also press enter, okay, and click the lines that you need to put a angular dimension, okay, either enter, okay, or right click, repeat angular, and just click the lines, okay. So then you're almost complete, okay. We'll dimension this one. Uh, so that is linear dimension. So look for the linear dimension here. Linear. Okay. So we locate the center. So to locate the center snap of this arc is put your cursor and any of the part of this arc so that the center mark, the center object snap will show here, and then click and click here. So 21. Then so that no need to click this linear dimension toolbar here. If you want to continue, for example, just click this option, dim dimension continue. So click. So then when you drag your cursor, it meaning your dimensioning is still continuing. So you have to locate your, or you have to snap here. So again, to show, so that the center will object snap will show, you have to put your cursor in any of these part of the arc. Okay. Then of course should also be your object snap should also be on. So either click here or press F3. Okay, and then click here to finish. So either escape or enter. But as you can see, it says 69 because actually this 69 is from this vertex here. So because I started my first point of the dimension here in the center, not here. That's why. If I click this, for example, so you see. So it's wrong. That's why if I repeat again dimensioning, I should start from here. Okay. Click and to the center. Click down, then continue and click here. So it's now correct. But actually, even if you have a mistake like that here, you can still adjust this. Just click this without command and then click the grip here, and you can also click here or here. So you adjusted the dimension. Okay, oh, you corrected the dimensioning. Okay, then you see in the drawing, okay, that there is a center mark. Okay, so you have watched this in exercise 3, but I'll make it again. Okay, so center mark. So we are in the annotate tab, and here is the center mark command here. And click this and click the arc, okay, enter, and also here, enter. And actually here, if you see in the sample, this continuous line, but should be actually center line here. So if you remember how to, if you have watched the video for exercise 3, how to put or assign a center line, okay, so find here. So I have already loaded a center to line type, but if not, so you have to load. So watch the video in, I think, exercise 3 part 1, okay. So but if you can see here, so I have center 2. Let's say the line type scale of that is maybe too big or too small. I can change the uh, line type scale of this. So I'll go to, so select this and then right click, properties, and change the line type scale. So check if is it big or is it small. So try, for example, you make it small, 0.1. So yes, so originally it was big, so but still it is very small. So the 0.1. So let's say make this 0.5. Click. So big. So make it 0.25. So I think this is okay now. Okay, center line. And so the next one is assigning. Say you want to assign a object color this. So again, there is a demonstration of that in exercise 3. So, but as I said there in demonstration in exercise 3, we still have to have another, or let's say, the that will be our incoming upcoming topics with regards to the layer properties, the complete features of the layer properties. But for now, so we individually assign only the object color. So object color is one of the object properties, okay, or layer properties. Okay. So if you remember in your drawing 1, the object lines are solid. Okay. Say I will assign the object color magenta. Click this, okay, then press escape. So without command, click this. But I selected the other angular dimension, so I'll return it back. Then center line and the center mark. So let's say I will change this to blue, and also the dimension. Okay, so dimension, blue. So this is not compulsory that you will follow what I'm doing with regards to assigning object color. If you have yourself a preferred color for these different line types and for dimensioning, so it's up to you. Okay, so I'll change that to red, so that there will be 3 colors. Okay, so red, and this one is red also, red. Okay, So then uh, 1 minute, may nagwawala. Okay, let's continue. So the last part is putting the label for the vertices. Okay, so you can find that here, text. So there are two options, the multi-line and the single line. So we'll use the single line first. So click, and you can also access this here in the annotate with more options, okay? But for simple putting of text, you can select the home tab and find it here. So single line, okay? Then you click that, so you will be asked to see the command line start point. So for now, we will not use the option justify and style because we have there the default annotative and the standard, so we'll use that. So no need to change. So forget for this for now, the justify and style. We will have another demonstration for that. So you are asked to specify your start point. So just estimate, say here, your A is here. Click here or any other area here, but you will do a command move later to bring it here near to this point. Okay, so say I click here. So when you click, you will be asked specify paper height. When you say paper height, this one is the we are in the model space. So right now it's 2.5 for me. Okay, so for you maybe small or big. So try for example to make that uh, 5 or 6. Say double of the text in the dimension. So type 5, type 5, then enter, and you will be asked the rotation angle. So for me, I have here 135, so meaning the direction of my text is angled 135, so I have to change this. So for you, maybe it's 0, so no need to type 0 again, just press enter. But for me, because in some of my work, I changed this to 135. So I'll bring it back to 0. So I'll type 0. So for you, if 0, so no need to type 0, just press enter. Okay. 0, enter. So after you press enter, there is already a prompt that you are going to type. Okay, so let's say this is A, okay. Then if you press enter, so your command is still active. So press another enter to finish the command. Okay. Then let's say I will make the color this as green. Then do the command copy. Okay. So click this, copy, then enter. So base point, say I'll choose the insertion point here. Click. So that you can bring it to any of the 360 degrees direction. So turn off your ortho mode, then bring here, click here. So just continue clicking, okay. Click here, click here, click here, click here, click here, 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 here. So and if you copy the letter that you created to their respective location, so you are you need to press enter to complete your command, to finish. Okay, to press enter. Then to edit, just double click. Okay, double click. So B. Okay. So when you press enter, again for example, so I will double click, then change this to B, and then click. So again, when your cursor is in the pickbox form, it means you can continue your editing. Okay, so click again, C, click outside, then click D, click outside or away from the text, then E, click, and click F, and click G, then this is H, this is I, and this is J, and the last one is the first one is already done. Okay, so you have your A, B, C up to J. Okay, so this is the method, direct distance entry, in creating the drawing, plus the relative polar coordinate. I will make another video separate to this, but in this same file. Okay, so another method of drawing this, okay, especially these outlines of, or lines of the shape, not this one, because I will do the same method, or maybe another method, so that you will have to you will have another new things to learn in AutoCAD. Okay, so like for example here, we will use the UCS command, the direct distance plus the absolute polar coordinate. So we will have the same result, same like this here. Okay, so that's it for this uh, first example or first method of drawing the exercise 2, which is what is specified there in your instruction. Use polar coordinate in 3, and also your origin, the start of your first line or the vertex is at absolute coordinate 50, 30. Okay, so that's it for now. Maybe later today I'll make another example, but different method in drawing this. Okay, so that's it.